Hey guys, Sebastian here. Welcome to another segment of Building Your Wealth in Under 5 Minutes. Today we're going to be talking about if you have a pension, not a social security check, but a pension through either the federal government or the state or the county, what will happen with that pension the day that you pass away? Will your spouse inherit that pension? We're going to be talking about that today. If it's a reality that your spouse will end up getting that pension the day that you are not around. Now, before we get started, guys, please don't forget to subscribe, comment, and share. We strongly rely on each and every one of you to be able to comment and share this content with your friends, with your family, with our community, because we all understand that once we start gaining more knowledge in the area of money, we will normally build wealth faster. We see this across the board in anything in life. The more knowledgeable we are in a specific area, we will be able to make better decisions in that area. And what we've designed is we've designed this channel specifically for the purpose of educating our community in the topic of money. So if you want to go ahead and learn more, just don't forget to subscribe, comment, and share. Hit the notification bell on our YouTube channel. That way you can get constant information every single day that we're putting out on the topic of money. Let's get started, guys. Alrighty guys, so unfortunately, there will come a day where we will all not be around. Now, what I'm going to be talking about is that Social Security is not the topic that we're going to be discussing. We're going to be discussing something called a pension. You see, many of you that work for the county, that work for the state, that work for the federal government, in addition to your Social Security check, you will actually start getting a monthly pension when you retire. Now, some of you have to work 20 years to qualify for that pension. Some of you 25 years, some of you 30 years. Some of you maybe worked for a corporation that offered a pension after a period of time of working. But you see, what ends up happening is that when you're ready to retire, they usually ask you what type of pension do you want to choose. And they will usually give you 4 different types of choices. So number one, they might give you a choice where they might tell you, okay, your monthly pension, as an example, might be $2,000 every single month for the rest of your life. But you see, this is what ends up happening. Let's say that you're married and you chose what's called option number 1. And you wanted to get that $2,000 check. Well, that $2,000 check might seem very, very attractive because it is the bigger of the 4 options that maybe they're giving you. And that means that they're going to give you $2,000 right now every single month. But now let's say that a month after you retire, you pass away and you're married. Well, you see, the reality is if you chose this option, maybe you chose the biggest check possible. So you were getting that check while you're alive. But the day that you pass away, your spouse will end up getting nothing, 0. So yes, you chose the biggest check for you, but your spouse will end up getting nothing the day that you're not around. So that is if you choose option number 1. For many of you that work for the county and work for the state, this is normally the way it works. Then they'll give you something called option number 2. Option number 2, they might tell you, look, we're going to give you a little bit less. We're not going to give you $2,000 a month. Maybe we'll only give you $1,900 a month. But we are going to give you an added benefit. The added benefit that we're going to give you is we're going to give you something called a 10-year period certain. So what does that mean? That means that no matter what, you know that you are going to be getting $1,900 a month for the rest of your life. But let's say that 3 years in, right after you retire at 65, at 68, God forbid, you pass away. And at 68, you're now gone. Well, you see, the reality is your $1,900 check will continue on for 7 more years. Again, that's if you passed away 3 years right after you chose option number 2. So if you chose option 2, you'll get a little bit less money, but your spouse, your beneficiaries that you have assigned will continue to get the same $1,900 check, but only up until the 10th year. After year 10, if you're still alive, you'll keep getting the $1,900 every single month. But if you pass away in year 10 and year 11, I'm sorry, your spouse, your beneficiaries will not get any money after year 10.
Wow, right?
That's called a 10-year period certain. Then what you have the third option, and this is kind of the option that I would say a lot of spouses choose, the ones that really, really love their spouse, right? Like the ones that want to make sure that their spouse, God forbid, you're not around, their spouse ends up getting the same amount. But you see, this is what happens. If you end up choosing option number 3, what ends up happening is you're going to get a lesser amount. So maybe you might end up getting $1,600 a month every single month. But if you pass away a month in, or 3 months right after you retire, or 3 years right after you retire, or 15 years after you retire, your remaining spouse will get $1,600 as well every single month for the rest of his or her life. So the benefit is that you will get less money. So instead of the $2,000 under option 1, which is for the rest of your life, you will get $1,600 for the rest of you and your spouse's life. So that is a benefit in the sense that now you have a guaranteed check every single month for the rest of 2 people's lives. So I've seen a lot of people choose option number 1. They want to get the $2,000 every single month. They pass away 2 years in, and now their spouse is left with absolutely nothing. Then you have option number 4. Option number 4, what they'll do is you might get a little bit more money. So maybe they might give you $1,800 a month as an example. But then let's say that 2 years in or 3 years in, one of you two passes away. You or your spouse passes away. The remaining spouse will actually only end up getting 2/3 of the $1,800. So that would be about a total of $1,200. So I've seen this happen where, a person chose option number 4. That means while they're both alive, they're getting $1,800. The moment that one of the two passes away, the remaining spouse will end up getting $1,200 every single month. Now, again, I'm just using examples here. This is not set in stone that every single one of you have these exact same numbers. So you want to check into your pension system to see how do your numbers work. Some of you have worked 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, and your numbers can be very, very different depending on how much money you've made, how your pension structure works, how many years you work there. Is that pension even sustainable? But I will want to add one very important piece. Many people have the option of converting their pension into what's called a lump sum. So what I want you to do is I want you to look into if your pension even offers you the conversion of a lump sum, where you will actually forfeit your pension. So you won't get a pension, but you'll get a big giant check of money. Sometimes I've seen these checks to be $800,000, $1 million, $1.5 million. I even had a gentleman the other day that it was over $1.9 million. He lost his pension, so he will not get a monthly check, but he will get a lump sum the moment he retires. And that lump sum in his case was almost $1.9 million. So again, just be very, very careful on which choice you're making, because again, this is probably one of the biggest decisions that you're going to be making in your entire life.
Hey, thanks so much for watching this video. And if you're serious about making better decisions with your money, go ahead, follow us, comment, subscribe, and click that notification bell so that you're notified whenever we upload a new video. And we'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much.